here we are. This is S.x Love Psychedelics, and I'm your host, Dr. Kat, bringing you psychosexual conversations that will leave you intellectually turned on and hungry for more.
Is there any particular advice that you would give to a couple who wants to step into group sex or play parties? Because a lot of people aren't in LA. They're from all over, but they're curious about this type of living, this type of lifestyle. And perhaps what they Google is not the conscious container type of group play that's available to them when they Google.
Yeah.
So what would you say to them?
Right. In a lot of places, it's not necessarily what's going to be available, but I think we are creators of our own reality. And so what that allows us to do is, as a couple, first get on the same page. What are the things we're looking to explore? What would make you feel really alive? What would make me feel really alive? Some of those things are going to be good for both of us. Why not start with those? And then also take turns. How much can we step into creating space for the other person's desires as well within our own boundaries? And through that place, maybe a first step is you just go to a play party, but you have an agreement to just voyeur. And then next party, maybe you actually have interactions with just your partner, right? Take it slow. Start opening up. Also, take off the pressure of having to have sexual interactions with other people and make friends. Have conversations. See who you feel safe with. See who feels like it could be fun. So as you start like taking it slow, exploring, connecting intimately with people, non-sexual intimacy, emotional intimacy, intellectual intimacy, get to know yourselves more. That's important. And the thing about desires are, because we've been and boundaries, that we've learned so much to repress them, that the way that we learn about them is by speaking them out. So just by having conversation with your partner, these are different things that, I'd be curious about in a non-judgmental environment where your desire is valid, even if we don't choose to act on it. And the more you speak, I think the more clarity that you get. And then you get to slowly tiptoe and experiment and play and undoubtedly have missteps and learn from them and continue from there in that dance.
Going slow, of course, talking and giving yourself permission to make mistakes and repair. I think that repair piece is really, really important. Yeah, it's only when we go slow in this that we can actually catch those nuances that we've, talked about throughout this episode. Because how many times I've had clients say, they've developed UTIs, or their body has a reaction, or they have a difficult time with arousal, and it's in further investigation, it's because they've suppressed their boundary in order to meet this ideal version of themselves that they thought that their partner needed. Or they wanted to be fun. They didn't want to be a party pooper. They wanted to be, super available. They wanted to be the quote unquote perfect poly partner. Or they wanted to be, sexually expressed. But there's another part of them that said, you know what, but not with this person, but I don't want to have sex with people. But they, again, bypass that. So I think that can only occur. We can only catch those smaller voices and maintain, what we talked about earlier, integrity or alignment with ourselves when we slow, when we're reflective to catch them in order to act on them.
I love what you said about the bypassing. You can't, if you really feel into it and you imagine the situation that you want and you're really communicative about it, you'll notice an arousal. Cocks and pussies, they just don't lie. And when you're forcing yourself, you'll notice, because they don't come online in the same way. And there's so much wisdom in our genitals.
Amen.
Well, that was fun. Thanks for tuning in, lovers. And if you want to experience more ecstasy and sexual liberation, head over to sexlovepsychedelics.com and learn about how you can join me for any one of my online or live events. And while you're there, grab my free guide on sex and psychedelics. Remember, this podcast is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Please contact your healthcare provider and local law before pursuing any of the products or psychedelics discussed. And one final note here. I make this show specifically for you. If you're loving the show, then be sure to leave me a review in iTunes or Spotify to let me know. Happy to be here and happy to serve. I'll see you next time on Sex, Love, Psychedelics.